Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Mr.CampGrills, and today I'm going to be making chicken wings again. But this time it's going to be a little bit different. These are the type of wings my dad used to make for my family growing up. As you can see here, it's going to be the whole chicken wing, not just the drums and the flats, because that's how we had them when we were growing up. It only needs two ingredients, so this is a very easy prep, and they come out super delicious. Now, the first ingredient you might not be too excited about, but mustard. The second ingredient is Chilito Deli mix. So this is a type of mix that you use on fruit. It's like a spicy, lemony type flavor chile, and that's it. Just those two ingredients. Now, before I put in my wings in my bowl to mix, I am going to pat them dry because we do want them to be as dry as it can be so that the seasoning can adhere very well. So go ahead, pat these in. Just a quick pat down. These are also the wings that I grilled for the first time for some of my friends. They had never had them before, and they really did like them. So I'm gonna make these today for my family, for them to enjoy. This one's already really drenched. Get another towel. So I have my wings nice and ready. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the mustard. Now go ahead, take off the cap because we are gonna use quite a bit of the mustard. Now, for those of you that may not be fans of mustard, the good news is you can't taste it after it's cooked. So, and then we add some of the chile. And then we're gonna go ahead and start mixing these up. Try to keep one hand clean so that in case you need to grab any other stuff or need to grab more seasoning, you always have one hand clean to be able to grab those things and not get everything all dirty and messy. Make sure that the wings are nicely coated so that they can get all that seasoning. Now with these, you don't need to put a whole lot of seasoning because the flavor of the deli mix already pops on its own. If you're curious of trying to find this seasoning, you could probably find it at local Mexican markets, usually near the fruit sections. I wouldn't recommend Tajín. It's not the same thing. This one's a little bit more on the limey side, almost fruity. All right, so I'm satisfied with how seasoned my wings are. And right now, let's go outside and get the fire ready. All right, so we're outside now. We're gonna go ahead and get our fire ready. As before, I like to use a charcoal chimney. I have a Weber one. They have any type of charcoal chimney will work just fine, but I like Weber, so might as well get Weber one. I like to use Kingsford charcoal. You can use any charcoal you'd like. Okay. And then just like before, we're gonna go ahead and use the tumbleweeds again. So I'll just move this off to the side. I put them in the bottom, light it up, lights up super easily. We're gonna go ahead and put our chimney there and we'll be back in about 15 minutes when when our fire is nice and ready. All right, we're back. Now if you come closer, you could see that the fire is nice and ready. That means our coals are just at the right temperature to be ready to cook with. And one thing I want to talk about today is this modification here. This is called the SNS, the slow and sear. I use this a lot for smoking pork butts, but it also works great for two-zone cooking. So two-zone cooking is when we have two spots, a hot side where I'm going to lay my coals in, just like that, and a cool side. So over here is where the cool area is going to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my grill grate. I'm going to put it like this. And I'm going to give it just a moment to start heating up before I put any food in. I'm going to go ahead and cover it up for now. And we'll be back in just a moment to clean it with our grill brush. I have different grill brushes, but one that I tend to lean towards a lot is this wire one. It's not the safest one because of the wires, but I haven't had any issues with this one. So we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so we off camera already brushed the grill grates. So if you come see here, the grill grates are nice and clean. And then I'm going to put in my mandatory onion. My students always ask, "Sir, why you keep putting onions on your barbecue?" Well, it's because it's delicious. That's why. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting our wings. Now, with two-zone cooking, it does require a lot of working, I guess is the best way to say it, because I am putting them directly on the coals, but I'm not going to leave them there. I'm putting them there so that they could get nice and charred. And then once I get the color I like on the wing itself, they will be moved over here to this side, which is the cool side, but the heat will be traveling over outside the vent, and that's how we're going to get them to cook all the way through. Notice that with my wings, I like to follow a pattern as well. I make sure I put them all on the same side so that helps me keep track of how many times I've flipped them already. So since these were the first ones I put on, you can see they do get charred pretty quickly. Give them a little bit more time. Go ahead and flip them over. Okay. And then again, we're just trying to get that nice color on them so that we can then move them over to the side. Another thing that we're going to be having today for dinner is going to be some Elk Ridge cheddar smoked sausage. These go great with some salt and lemon. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place them already here. Make sure I keep flipping them. So at this point, I've already put in all the wings inside the grill. And as you can see, I've got some that have some really nice color. These right here, I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way. So right now, these are almost pretty much done coloring because they're most definitely not done cooking. Gonna finish moving them over. I'll put it like that. And then put my onion directly in the middle so I can finish cooking. As I can see, it doesn't have that char like it usually does when I make the onions, but it should be out shortly. And then we're gonna go ahead and close this up. Notice that my vent is fully open. My bottom vents are fully open, and I'm just gonna leave it here for about 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna come check the temperature of the wings. They should be at 185 for that ideal temperature for a good wing to be able to come out and eat. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. So it's been way more than 10 minutes. But that's just the thing with two-zone cooking. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer because this is the cool side. Maybe I should have put more coals and that would have helped it, but that's okay. But as you can see, they have really nice color. They're nice and charred, and I'm just going to double check the temperatures, and they are all ready to go. All right. So then I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Have my sausage in here already. And then we're going to go ahead and take these inside for dinner. And we'll check in just a moment. Here is our final plate. So if you come up here close, we have our salchicha, our rice, our pico de gallo, our wings for today. As you can see, if I pull it apart, it's nice and cooked. And then we have our cebolla, which is salt, lime, and pepper. And that is delicious. Thank you for stopping by. See you next time.